I'm live. Holy shit, I am. I'm live. I think I'm alive. How's everybody doing out there on a Friday night? Thanks for joining me here and a little extra stuff we put in for Monster Fest. Since we're doing some movie reviews coming up tomorrow night on Dylan's Horror Show, which will be The Witch, which I haven't watched yet, by Robert Eggers. Thought I'd pop in here tonight to do a special show on Neca and Neca's horror figures. I tell you, I'm a big Neca guy. I'm a big guy. And my number one love is Mego, as you can tell. Mego. I'm a Mego ambassador. And I love my Megos, which are these little guys right here, like the Medusa. Inexpensive figures that have a lot of throwback and a lot of ties to a simpler time, but they've put out a good product. These are all generally under $15, so you'll get what you pay for. But I think they're pretty decent for the money, and they're usually the box art and everything outstanding, and the sculpts are fairly nice, as you can see. But NECA's a little bit more money, probably almost double in some cases, and they're 7-inch compared to 8-inch, and generally they aren't clothed, but they are the creme de la creme of the 7-inch action figure when it comes to horror. While Mego dabbles in horror, I wouldn't say NECA does exclusively horror, but they do quite a bit of horror. And I want to come on tonight and just do a little, showing off of what I have here. Now, most of the Megos I have are in the boxes still because the NECAs are integral. The box is integral to it's part of the package. It's part of the presentation of the figure. And I haven't really removed all that many of my 7 inches. I did remove a lot of the about 5 or 6 of the 8-inch clothed NECAs. We won't be showing those here tonight. I have ones like Freddy and Reanimator, Jason, the My Bloody Valentine. I have a couple clothed ones I will be showing. The ghost face from Scream, and I like the 8-inch clothesline. But a lot of people that like the general NECA figures don't like the clothed ones. But I do, coming from the whole thing where I really enjoy Mego. So hopefully we'll get some people in here. Unfortunately, hopefully some of you guys will watch on the replay. We may even have a guest to pop in. We don't know. But let's go ahead and start looking at some NECA figures. I guess I want to start off first by looking at the ones they put out, which are the 8-inch clothed figures. Now, one of the best ones in that line, of course, is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. This is a recent figure they put out. And the clothed line is a little bit different presentation as package-wise than the shoebox style that we get with the 7-inch figures. Currently they're window boxed, although that will probably be going away. But I really like these. They have the attention of detail as the 7-inch. They usually come with multiple heads. They come with accessories. And this is one of the best ones here, Elvira. Let's show off the box. And there she is, the Mistress of the Dark. And that's a great likeness of her. They worked with Elvira specifically to get that. And the one in the middle, both of them are really, really good. So that's Elvira, Misteriso of the Dark. Then they put out this one not too long ago. This is the Creep Show. This is the 40th. Is it the 40th anniversary? I'm not sure. No, I think it's just the regular Creep. So it's the Creeper from Creep Show. This is kind of like a 7-inch. I guess this would be a kind of a hybrid figure. This is really a clothed figure. This is in their clothed line. And it comes with the lantern. That's a great face on that. There's the package. I hope you guys can see a little better. I am doing this is the first show I debuting my new webcam, which I hope is better than what I had before. So you can see more of the mess I got back here. and hopefully more of what I'm trying to show you up there. So we shall see. And this is Nada from They Live. That's a great figure. It's got the multiple heads, the gun. An okay likeness, I guess. The second one looks a little bit better. Is that a rowdy? Fucking, believe me, I've only had one puff off the pipe so far, so I can't blame that for this. Is this the Roddy Piper physique? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Cool figure nevertheless. And this is the Stormtrooper of Death, Sergeant D from Metallica. And they do a few rock and roll lines too. They got some rock and rollers out. And I think they're coming out with a few of the AC/DC guys very soon. And Dylan from Dylan's Horror Show, the host of Dylan's Horror Show, which, as I said, we'll be doing The Vitch by Robert Eggers tomorrow night as Horror Fest continues. And then on and on and on. Although we have about maybe a week and a half left to go until Halloween. So got some good stuff coming up between now and then. So there's Sergeant D, the Death Maker, in the clothesline, the gun. The back of the box almost makes it look like a classic G.I. Joe figure. So that's kind of cool. Excuse me. And then coming up here, Jaws. This is Quint, also in the clothed figures. I like how they give you the little Narragansett beer cans down there. That's cool. Narragansett beer is a real beer. I've drank it here in Mass. Get the baseball bat, machete, and a good likeness. Now, I guess they just released the Hooper figure this month. I'm pretty sure Roy Scheider's character's been out already, but I think Hooper's coming out. I don't know if I'll get him or not. I thought Quint was iconic enough to get him. And then this was a Scream Factory exclusive. I didn't think they did that good of a job on this figure. But this is from Battle Beyond the Stars, one of my favorite 80s sci-fi Roger Corman flicks. This is Valkyrie, rather. And not a bad likeness of Sybil Danning. That's the back of the box. Did a pretty nice job with that figure, I think. And they have they did another one for Child's Play that's coming out. I think it will be out by December, the burnt up Chucky doll. So that will be coming out. Oh, and I just trashed the entire area. Oh my God. I got Necas everywhere. Here's another one here. This is an older one, Batman. I think that's also a 7-inch line. I don't think they do these anymore. And there's the Batmobile. I think they came out with a bunch of these Batman 66 figures for a while, and I think they lost the license. I'm not sure they went exclusively to Figures Toy Company. They may have. But I don't think they do those anymore. All right, guys. Sorry about this. I will be right Sorry, guys. That's what happens when you got somebody upstairs that wants your attention here real quick. So I'm back. Thanks for holding on for a second. Okay, so King Kong. Now, they put out quite a few of these King Kongs last year. And as I said, this is what I mean about not wanting to separate the figures from the boxes. At least I want to get a display where I can display the box with the figure. Because for me, Neca, the box is as integral of a character as the figure itself. I mean, the box is just phenomenal in all these Neca's figures. There's King Kong, and they all have the open up shoebox type where they have the window box. So you always get a nice display on the packet here, and then a very nice display on the character. This one comes with multiple heads, and I think they did a really nice job on this. Obviously, this is the 1933 version of them. King Kong, very heavy figure too, very, very heavy. And then, of course, considering some monsters, they do a wide range of the Godzilla figures. I picked up a few of these. I'm not sure if this is the only one I picked up. They're very similar, I find, to Godzilla, but I picked this up because this was the King of the Monsters. I love the artwork. This is the original artwork from the 1954 movie, I think it is 56, I believe it was. So Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And then you open this up and you got the artwork. This one has that great fire breath coming out of his mouth there. And it looks really nice in the package. And they give you a nice backdrop too. And there's the back of the box. But I think this is a great figure. Hey, Gusly, how you doing tonight? Thanks for stopping by. And if you guys have any NECA figures, type them in the chat and tell us which ones you have or what you're going to be getting. So this was the 65th anniversary, 54 to 2019 when this came out. But I love the first one. This one, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now we get into some Evil Dead. This is Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. It's got just the simple. Most of these NECAs have just the simple artwork from the movie on the front cover, which is really nice. And then inside you got the character, and here's your Evil Dead 2. Now, none of the NECAs, I don't think, this probably, I think, is the one that has the closest likeness to Bruce Campbell. He's very hard to get Bruce Campbell right. I think I have one other one I'll show that it's a decent figure, but I don't think they quite got him captured. I love how it comes with the tape recorder and all the accessories. It must come with the book, I would imagine. I don't know. I don't see the Book of the Dead, which is unusual. Oh no, there it is. The book's in there, right there, on the other side, right there. Yeah. The Necromonicon. The And then, of course, they do my favorite ones, which are the Universal monsters. And what they're doing in this line is, I love how they have the classic artwork on here. They're doing a black and white version and a color version. I've been getting both, and so far, I think my preference is with the black and white. The color is nice, but I think the black and white, which is this one right here, is the best because, of course, it represents the movie. And you can see it comes with the multiple heads, the Kane, Lon Chaney, and then the back of the box, which is really nice. And, that's why I've been, I want to try to get some sort of a display case that's going to allow me to have the box in there and then the figure in front of it. Because to me, the box is part of the presentation. But the search goes on. The search goes on for display. As I said, I'm running out of room down here. So it's going to have to probably be upstairs. And I don't know if I want to get some sort of a glass display case for these. I just haven't figured out what to do with these yet. And then we have Frankenstein. And Frankenstein is, I believe, the color version here. Is he the color version? Yeah, that's the color version, I believe. It might be the black and white, actually. I think that is the black and white version. Yep. I love the facial features on this, especially that one where he's grimacing. Really, really good. And Neca is releasing accessory packs for all these monster sets. For Frankenstein's Laboratory, of course, I've had it on order forever because they take forever to come out. And they have a Mummy's Tomb set that's coming out for the Mummy figure. And I can't wait to get the Laboratory to strap Frankie down to the table and do like a werewolf, a Frankenstein meets the Wolfman scene, which would look phenomenal once they have that out. Just recently got this one, showed it off last week on Dylan's Horror Show, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, Ultimate Freddy. And there it is. Comes with the hat and the multiple heads. I was looking for this for a while because this has been out for a while and I just found it, so left out there. And another recent one we just got is Hellraiser, Ultimate Pinhead. Also looking for that too. Which of these awesome items do I display is my problem too. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's obvious you can't, I'd like to have some sort of a display where I could rotate them in and out. You could, put a selection out of the box. From what Dylan tells me, I haven't unboxed any of these, but from what Dylan tells me is these are easy enough to get in and out of the box. I know in some of these figures you get, they tie them down with tie wraps, they tie them down with shit, and by the time you get done prying them out of the box, you've either damaged the figure or you've damaged the ability of ever putting them back into the box again. And according to Dylan, that's not the case. These can be taken out of the box pretty easily and then put back in, which is something I'd probably like to do because, as I said, I definitely want the boxes to be with the product. Now, there's not too many of the other figures that I busted out where I've kept the boxes, but these are definitely never going to be separated from them, or they'll be displayed in front of them. So that's the Hellraiser. There's the Ultimate Pinhead. Really nice figure. Okay, so let's see what else we got. So a bunch of stuff starting with some more monsters here. So this is the Mummy, Boris Karloff's Mummy rather. Once again, the excellent original artwork on the front. And I think they use different artwork on the black and white and the color ones. This is color because I have not received the black and white one yet. So that's the color one, I believe. And the black and white one will be coming. There's the back of it. And they said they're making the casket with some of the add-ons that he'll be able to sit in. And that'll be coming out, I think, after the first of the year. Now, here's my other Evil Dead figure. This is the Ultimate Ash. It's the back of the box. Side, 40th anniversary. And once again, I like the figure. Oh, is it taking longer? Dylan, I guess, is having some furnace work done at the moment. And he's trying to hop on the stream for a second. Well, take your time to. Don't worry about it. If you want to hop on, you can. If you don't, certainly get done with. You need heat, so I'd get the heat first. This is Ash, and as I said, I don't think they still don't have that face quite right. Maybe that one on the right is close, and it's not bad, but don't quite have. Maybe the chin, I think, is what's not. It doesn't have that pronounced chin as much as you should. But I like the figure nevertheless. It's a young, non-bloody Ash, which is always a good one to get. Oh, okay. Yes, it is surprising. So this is King Kong versus Godzilla, and another one I got because this is the iconic original artwork for King Kong versus Godzilla, which is one of my favorite Godzilla movies. If no one's seen it, great one to watch, especially around Halloween. There's the back of the box. I think the suit they used in this version of Godzilla, which is only the third movie, is probably one of my favorite because it's before he got goofy and kind of looked goofy with the goofy eyes, and before he got really cheap looking. So there's the inside, and there's the King of the Monsters. Not sure what they did with his tail. Must be broken up in pieces in there in the back. You got to put it on, and they gave you some breath and so forth. So these Godzillas have nice weight to them. Very, very nice. So there it is again. Godzilla, King Kong versus Godzilla. So let's go on here. Frankenstein. This is the other Frankenstein. So this is the alternate version of him. So it's got more of the original artwork on here. Well, this might be the color one, I think. The other one was a black and white one. Yeah. So there's the box. Excuse me. I think the color one has a little bit more detail in the face. Obviously, you're able to have more detail if you have a non-monochrome version. But I think I still like the black and white one best. But I enjoy these color variants. And then, right here. Here's the variant on the Wolfman. Yeah, that's most definitely the color one. I know, it's just something about the face. If you look at like the shirt and the picture there and the face and the black hair, I don't know. I don't like the alternate head, and this one is just that the face is just too it just stands out too much and looks kind of goofy in the color version. It just looks a lot more natural in the original black and white. But this one isn't bad. Yeah, if I wasn't getting both of these, if I wasn't getting um, the black and white and the color, I would just get the black and white, because to me they look the most representative of what the figure looks like. You know, what you're used to it looking like. Pretty topical this weekend. Halloween Kills, Ultimate Michael Myers. And there he is. That's from the 2019. See, the mask is a little fucked up from what happened to him in that movie. And they get the bat. And this company certainly has put out a lot of Michael Myers. Don't know if they're gonna go for one with Halloween ends. They might. He's wearing the same stuff, so he's not really that much different. And just a little comment on the movie. I saw Halloween Ends today. No spoilers. I like the beginning of it. I like the end of it, but the middle I thought was kind of messy. And it was definitely a movie that you could see was written by committee as opposed to somebody that knew the story to lay it out. I just think they could have done that story the same way, but with some other changes, it would have been much, much better. So kind of a weak way to go out with the Halloween series, but I'm sure Michael will be back. Here's King Kong, the other King Kong variant, which I think is pretty nice. He's got that open mouth. I think the face on this one, if you look at the eyes and the face, this one really nails the 1933 version of King Kong. And I think if I was going to display one, this would be the one I would display. I think it looks pretty outstanding. I much prefer the original King Kong over any of the movie ones. Yeah. I want King Kong to just be a straight gorilla. I want King Kong to be a monster who just happens to be based off of a gorilla, and that's what the original King Kong was. So I love these King Kong figures. Let's go to a little side venue that Neca did. They put out, and they're still putting out some of these, and this was a line of Defenders of the Earth, which I wasn't a huge follower of that cartoon series, but I do like the characters that are in it. I've always had a soft spot for the Phantom, and I love that Billy Zane Phantom movie, and I wish they would redo the Phantom with Zuffy. Who the heck is Zuffy? Do I know who Zuffy is? With Zuffy, Laser Blaster, and Blast Effects. Okay. Didn't realize that. But there he is. There's the Phantom. And there's the other figures in the line, of which I have two more figures. Ming the Merciless and Flash Gordon. I thought this was a cool figure. And it comes with the cape, and he's rather well detailed. And that's basically how Ming looked in that series. The back of the box. This one has Serpent Staff, Laser Blaster, Blaster Effects, and Sword. Wow. I did not realize that. Ming the Merciless. And finally, Flash Gordon himself. from the show. Also with laser blaster effects. And there is Flash Gordon. They put out more of these, but I wasn't really interested in the characters from the ones they put out, so I didn't bother to really pick those up. Let's see. I figure they're just starting to put out. These are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Universal Monsters figures. I love monsters like turtles, so of course I'm going to get these. They have 3 or 4 of them out, and they got a few of them coming out. I think they have Shredder's Van Helsing. April is the bride of Frankenstein, I believe. He's Frankenstein. The other turtles are Mummy, Wolfman, and I think Invisible Man is the one that's coming out. That's the inside. They've done a really nice job on these. These figures are very heavy and very well detailed. So they've mashed that license very, very well. And this is there you go. This is I think a Neca that is going to be doing things in the future. This will be a collector's item for sure. The Friday the 13th, Part 8, The New Blood. Is it The New Blood? The New Blood, yeah. And there he is, Jason. I love it. This is one of my favorite Jasons. I know they have a bunch of Jasons too. I think they've gotten every Jason figure, and I haven't picked up really. I think I might have. Do I have one more? Actually, no. I think this is the only one I have so far. I got to pick up one. I know they have one before you get the mask, and they got one for quite a few of the other movies. But this was always one of my favorite Jasons because you get the little bit of zombie Jason showing beneath his tattered clothes, which is cool. You get the extra head in there. You get the spear gun and the mask. I think this is just a fantastic figure. And that would be a really nice display. Like how you get the broken mask and the head that's under there. That's cool. The buzzsaw. So that's one of the better Jasons, I think. And then they started putting out figures for American Werewolf, and this is the Ultimate Nightmare Demon. And one of the few with a lenticular cover, as you can see, which is really cool. Here's the back of the box. And I think what you see in those 4 on the back, those are all the different styles you can set them up as with the multiple heads and so forth. That's why they show you the 4 in the thing. So there he is. And of course, without a doubt, the ones I like the best here would be the one that he's pictured as right now, the wolf, and the skull on the right. That one up in the top. I think those are the best, but the other 2 aren't bad either. I love how they give you all of them, so you can make basically 4 figures, or you can make any one you want, and then swap the heads out. Really nice figure. And then, of course, the one I need an extra arm here to get. This bad boy here, the Kessler Wolf, the Ultimate Kessler Wolf. This is a show package in itself. That and a rather large gatefold. Oh, look at that thing. Can I get that in there so you can see it? Yeah. There he is. It comes with the head in the back there. And what a nice, this is a great showpiece, and I really want to get this out and display it with the other things. I like that pose right there on the bottom. That's really cool. And obviously the open mouth head is really cool too. So, I mean, they did, and this figure really wasn't much more than an average. I think this was like $40, $39. So it was a little bit more than what the average Neca figure was, although they're starting to really get up there in price. They're starting to go up. So, and it probably won't be long until I really do get up there. And a few more I got left here. This is the Puppet Master ones they put out. And this is nice because he kind of made this in the style of the movie. So you get the Puppet Master's case here. But this is Blade and Torch. There's the back. And there they are. Now, these are obviously, because they're puppets, they're smaller than the other ones. They're very small figures. So you're not getting how big they are in the movies. I guess you're getting them relative to what the size of this case would be. So these I would just leave in the case. I think these look best in the case because it kind of simulates the puppeteer's case. And then they put out the Tunneler and Pinhead. These are my favorite. I love Pinhead. Pinhead's my favorite of all the Puppet Masters with those giant hands. Always, Charles Band is always the hand that you see in the figure there when you see a hand from him, and there they are. His little tiny head is so freaking small you can hardly even see it. That's really cool. They did a nice job on these Puppet Masters ones. And finally, we're down to the last one that I have currently, although I do have some on order that will be coming this week. This is from John Carpenter's The Thing. It's got that foil embossed box, which is really cool. And as the inside is the Ultimate McCready Outpost 31. And it does a nice job in getting the Kurt Russell likeness. You get your drinking, you get your drinks, and your. Now they should have came out with I can't remember his name. David is his last name. I mean, and you guys know. His companion. So you could do that scene of them sitting on the wall. Would have been kind of cool. It's got the hat. Really did a nice job with this. It shows all that in the back. The hat and the glasses are great. So that's The Thing, and that is pretty much everything to this point that I own with Neca, with the exception of a few of the clothed ones, which we'll have to show on a separate stream. But I think I have a mummy coming in, a black and white mummy. Of course, those accessory packs. They have an ET one coming out. They have an Alf one announced forever. They have a Green Hornet one, I believe, announced. Not Green Hornet, but Kato, I think. So they have a bunch out that I've had an order for about a year, and it's, they're still not out. So they'll probably start coming in, I would say, sometime maybe later this year, and maybe we'll do another one of these videos at that point. But for the meantime, it's just a matter of getting them all together, putting them somewhere, and waiting for some way to display all these. And hopefully that will be coming soon. Now, before we get out of here, why don't we take a look at this? Is the website for Neca, and this is kind of showing you some of the stuff that is coming. They're going to put out a line based on the Munsters. I don't know if maybe they'd like to take that back after seeing the result. Although I enjoyed it for what it is, but I wonder if they're going to have if they're really going to be doing any more with this line. Not that the line isn't good. I mean, I think it's pretty darn good. Here's Zombo. Yeah, I think they're doing this. They're doing Herman. They're doing the father. Whether they'll sell or not, they did the usual good job on them, but whether they'll sell or not, who knows? And then, of course, they do Gremlins. And here's the accessory set. This is one that's coming out for the Dracula Bela Lugosi figure, which I have on order. And not that you probably couldn't find a accessory set cheaper, but hey, armadillos and badgers. Yeah, you got to have those, right? You have an armadillo and badgers. I know Dylan liked this Saw 12-inch action figure they're doing based on the Saw movies. This is going to be close to $100, a little bit over $100, so very pricey. I'm looking for these AC/DC, the cloned ones, Angus Young and Bon Scott, but as of now, I think they're not out quite yet. I don't even see them available for pre-order. ET one, I think they have a bunch of ET ones coming out that are kind of cool. I think I have one of those on order. And let's look at page 2 here. Yeah, this the dress-up doll one, and the phone home, and the bike one's kind of cool. That's kind of pricey though. And they continue on making really, really great Predator lines. I haven't really gotten any of the Predator stuff because that's a money hole, and you'll be buying a ton of different versions. I know they have announced they are putting out the versions based on the recent Prey movie, and it's real cool looking, the variant. And then here, of course, is that 7-inch color Dracula. Dracula is tough because both Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney, who was the Wolfman, and Frankenstein too, their estates don't easily license their products out. You can't just make a Dracula and put Lugosi or Chaney's on a Wolfman or Frankenstein and call it a day. You have to get their estate to sign off, and they have strict rules on how their relative Bela Lugosi should look. And that's why most of the times when you see a Bela Lugosi or a Lon Chaney junior or senior figure, you get very good likenesses of him, because it's got to be signed off on it, before you can get them to acquiesce to give you the rights. You're going to have to make sure that you do something that the family finds doesn't detract from Bella's memory. And I just think this is a really nice figure. And if you wanted to make some dioramas, you could make a lot of different stuff with this. I mean, if you just look at that right there, that's astounding. So I can't wait to get that. I know the color version is coming out first after the first of the year, I believe. It's in November. But I'll be surprised if you see this until December or January of next year. Because, by the time they get down to releasing it to stores, That might be where it releases, but by the time it gets into the stores, it's going to be a while. The other one they're coming out with is this Invisible Man figure, and I think they did a really nice job on that as well. So I have that ordered, and I'm hoping that will come out soon. And then the teenage, this one, this Casey Jones is pretty nice. I didn't really care for these. Oh, there he is right there. I like that. I like how you can have the removable head there. That's kind of cool. Little patches of hair sticking up. Look at that. That's great. Really, really good. Really enjoy that. Pretty amazing stuff. And they put out these, I think these retro glow in the dark assortments of action figures. I didn't buy these. I like the packaging, but I'm not really too fond of the actual figures themselves in these. So I never bothered with them. And then finally, let's see what else is coming out. Yeah, there's the Van Helsing Mutant Ninja Turtles. They also do an Aliens line that's as much of a money pit as the Predator line. There's the April O'Neil as the Pride. This Creep Show 7-inch Ultimate 40th Anniversary Creep. Probably will pick this one up. It's a little different than what was out there already. The Bob Ross. I guess Bob Ross sells quite a bit, from what I understand. See if there's anything else interesting here. Noah from The Boys. That's kind of cool, but I don't think he really. I guess he kind of looks like that. And then once you're getting into some of the ones that were already released, I think at this point. So that's pretty much everything that's coming out. There's not a lot coming out, I don't think, for the rest of this year. So, but I'm sure there'll be some. So let's look at Neca stuff. And I think probably next will be back with a look at the next wave of Mego figures. They're due out, I think, sometime after November. They're going to be coming out with a World Greatest Superhero line, boxed figures for DC. And there's also a few in some of the other lines as well. And then after that, we have a new line of Star Trek Playmate toys. I wasn't going to originally get these, but I've started picking up I showed the Enterprise at Dylan show. I have the new version of the hand phaser coming. I got some of the 5-inch figures I'll probably show off tomorrow on the show and tell. And some of these I like, so I may pick up a few of those, although I have a ton of the old 3.5-inch ones. I think everybody does at this point, of the Playmate stuff. They were everywhere back in the 90s. So we're approaching about an hour there, so I think that's a good amount to wrap it up. I hope everybody that managed to come to the premiere, thank you for coming, all you guys. You guys didn't, will be watching this on the replay. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, I come on a channel occasionally with videos for talking about movies and stuff, but usually action figures. And then, of course, starting in November 7th, we have Scarperhead's Sci-Fi Sojourns, which will be joining your lineup Friday nights at this time, 7:30. Hopefully, we'll have some of the crew that joins us on Dylan's Horror Show and on Robbie's show, Robbie's movie review show, and of course Fright Fest and everything else that he does. We'll maybe pop in, and our first movie that we're doing is going to be the Mario Bava Italian sci-fi classic, Planet of the Vampires. So should be a good one. Obviously, that's an interesting one to start off with. We get some more classic sci-fi to come out through the rest of the month. and hope you'll join us on Friday nights and check us out. So thank you everybody for coming. You have a good evening. If you got a brew it. And if you got a pipe, vape it. And otherwise, we'll catch you tomorrow night. Dylan's Horror Show, looking at The Witch from Robert Eggers. Should be an interesting conversation. I haven't seen it yet. I've been wanting to. I'm going to watch it in 4K. I'm going to hope it's better than Halloween Ends. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys later. Have a good evening. Ciao, everybody.